Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day today. And today I would like to share a little unboxing with you guys. We are zoomed in way too freaking much. Doesn't matter. The item in this box, yes, it is a knife. It is on the smaller side, I think. So I don't really care to do the whole zoom out and zoom back in, whatever. The unboxing knife we're gonna be using is the titanium titty. This is the Kubi titanium Titus. Don't use this all too often, but I sure fidget with it a whole hell of a lot because it sounds incredible and feels wonderful. It's truly a knife that hits well above its price range, that's for sure. So this is a package from Blade HQ, as you can see, with their beautiful blue lining inside the box here. Just gonna reach in here, try not to make a mess because there's peanuts everywhere. Stupid foam peanuts. And it should just be the one item. Yep, that's it. Okay. Alright, toss that stuff. We got a scent cut knife. Nice little sticker. Like it. Nice, nice. Alright. This is the model. It's called the Glide Strike. Natural G10. I believe it's a satin finished blade. Haven't had too many budgety knives on the channel, but for whatever reason, when I saw this, and the first person that I saw making content of this was actually Wayne from Wayne Sharp World. If you're not subscribed to him or have not heard of him, he is an incredible individual in this wonderful community, and I think he was at one of the recent like blade shows or whatever events that happened not too long ago, and he showed this off, and I just fell in love with how the blade looked. I thought it was pretty cool. So a little sticker, set cut sticker, some card, nice little full-size cloth. Oh, this is a lot bigger than I thought. Holy crap. Okay, never mind. I thought it was gonna be a little bit smaller. I did pre-order this, and it is now available. There are 3 or 4 different variations. This is the one that I went with because this is the one that is the easiest to modify with the JG10. You can do it any kind of color with RIT synthetic dye. I've been doing a lot of that kind of little side projects and stuff. You can see it on my Instagram if you have that social media platform. And then I do a typical acid stone wash that I am very fond of because it's visually pleasing and it is fun to do. Give me 1 second. My freaking ice maker is going off. I thought I turned that thing off. Okay. Alright, this thing looks pretty freaking cool. Let's get the blade out. Looks pretty darn centered. And it's just a hole. I'm thinking maybe be able to front flip it, possibly. But it looks like there's a jump or two missing from there to really get around it. But whatever, let's just go ahead and reverse flick it. Whoa, that's a pretty mean looking blade. Jeez, that thing is fat. It's so wide. Man, this has one hell of a presence in person. I thought, again, this was going to be a little bit smaller. Dude, that feels great in hand. This is most definitely a full-size, dare I say, plus knife. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a couple little size comparison knives. I'm going to take the weight. We're going to check out the edge quality from the factory, of course, or out of the box edge finish. And just, look over this thing as it is. It is a scent cut, the budget brand of the, Wee Knife Company with Civivi and stuff. So finished to the same tolerances and finish and all that kind of stuff, but just using lesser materials. The blade here is, I believe, it says right here in the box, I don't have to guess, 9CR 18 MOV, which isn't anything fancy. It's not going to be super high with edge retention. I believe it's well corrosive resistant, which is nice. It's always cool. Yeah, that's really about it. This is pretty simple. The materials that they use, it's nothing fancy. I picked this up mainly because of the overall silhouette, the design. I wanted to see how this thing feels in hand. It feels pretty freaking nice in hand, honestly. For whatever reason, and I may be speaking a little too soon, but this kind of reminds me of a little bit of stridery kind of look. You know, very broad, big blade with a full plus like finger choil here with the blade, and then a slightly smaller hand. It doesn't swell out like this typical Strider designs do, but it's kept definitely a whole lot more simpler. But I have never handled the Strider before because they are very expensive. I'm sure they're worth the money. I just haven't had a chance to pick one up. I've been able to actually interact with many US production knives this year, but I am capped out with with purchases for the year. This is probably going to be my last purchase, and this video is being recorded at the end of November, so I got all of December and stuff. Maybe I'll find something that I can't pass up, possibly, but as it is, this is probably going to be the last purchase for the year. And honestly, I don't think I ended on a bad note. So, but yeah, this thing looks pretty good. It feels great in hand. And for the price range that it comes in, I believe it was well under 50 bucks. Yeah, it's pretty freaking nice. Pretty freaking nice. The reverse flick is pretty darn good. Let's see if we can do thumb. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's great. And the blade has a good bit of heft, so it just kind of just carries itself out there and locks out. Feels great, looks great, sounds great. Here you can see the lock up, plenty solid. Side to side, nothing up or down. Really yanking on it, nothing. Don't feel anything. Check out any movement in the pivot. Pretty darn solid. Now, one thing I have noticed with send cuts is that after cleaning and disassembly, it's happened before. Don't really know why. But after disassembly, I do end up getting like a little bit of like pivot movement as the knife, you know, wears in onto the actual pivot and wearing a track and everything from the ceramic detent ball. So there are a couple little factors that could lead to having just the tiniest little bit of play, but you'll never really notice it when actually deploying and interacting with the knife overall. So yeah, whatever. Besides all that spiel, let's get out a couple good full-size knives. Some big stuff, right? Dude, this is bigger than the Praxis. At least overall, length speaking, it's just a hair longer. Let's check out how it is with the blade. Yeah, I mean, just, it's a lower drop point. So, not by much. But, yeah, you get just a tiniest bit more of cutting edge. Not really going to notice that. Here we have Doug Ritter RSK. This is a full-size one. So yeah, the glide strike is longer than that. Do a couple more. I don't have a lot of like huge stuff in my collection, but I think I've amassed a couple sizable comparisons and added to the collection this year. Spyderco PM2. That's a good one for sure. I know this one's a big one. Microtech MSI. It is damn near as long as the MSI. So that, wow. It's a pretty freaking big knife, for sure. Other stuff. Let's do the good boy, yeah. This is the Best Techman Good Boy. Longer than the Good Boy. I think that's, yeah, that's probably about it. Oh, one that's recently been sticking around. The Vermet WD-107. This is the budget button lock one. So, yeah. Dude, this glide strike is freaking huge. But it feels a lot more compact in hand because of the very generous forward finger grip right there. One thing I'm noticing, I really wish that the jimping was carried out all the way there. If it tacked on a couple more dollars, I really wouldn't have minded. I don't really think anybody else would have too, but it would have been very much appreciated. because it's not like it needs it, but it would have been nice. That's really about it. Taking a look at the edge here, it actually looks pretty darn good, relatively consistent. The sharpening tool and plunge grind, it's about as good as it gets. So that's awesome. This is going to be a wonderful, wonderful blade shape platform, which is overall to sharpen, do maintenance. This is something that I would definitely recommend for people who want to be able to sharpen larger knives, but don't want to go and, you know, sharpen up one of the more expensive larger knives. Because sharpening smaller knives versus medium and larger knives, there's a difference. You do definitely feel it, especially when you have things that could be a little bit thinner or a little bit thicker. I've had some like medium-sized knives where I noticed that when I use my Wicked Edge sharpening system, if I put a little bit too much pressure, the same amount of pressure that I apply further down here, closer up to the tip, it almost feels like I'm actually bending the blade and pressing a little way too much into it, and I'm not keeping a consistent pressure. So it's going to chew off more material, and it could lead to removing more material than you need. So you're wasting it, and with this being a very budget-oriented blade material, you want to make the most of it, of course. So right off the bat, you have a just standard Civivi Scent Cup polished bent steel clip. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I know this is going to go in and out of the pocket just fine because I've had the same design on so many other models that I've checked out this year. I have nothing against it, but it can snag, it can bend out, and it can break. So you can go ahead and pick up a titanium pocket clip. It's a very little investment into something that's going to make this a whole lot better looking. It's going to be a whole lot harder to snag onto things. It's a lot more compact. And I believe the titanium pocket clip, it's a whole lot shorter too. I think I have an example of it. Where, yeah. Here's a black one. So this is the pocket clip. It is compatible with essentially everything that Civivi Scent Cut does, which is awesome. I love that because plenty of people love titanium pocket clips. They just feel better in the pocket. They really do. This is actually on my backlash. So this is a heavily used knife. But yeah, that a little bit shorter, right? So that's something that you can option out and put in, and you'll end up replacing the T6 screws that come standard on T8s, which is always nice for disassembly. At this price point, I'm not really gonna, crap on it for having T6 for the pocket clip. It's very much expected, especially for, being for the pocket clip, but the body screws and the pivot look to be T8s. Go ahead and check real quick. I haven't showed you guys this yet, but it's pretty much finished. So this was my Griffin Co. or Tactile Beat or something or the other. I have a video on it, but this is basically a driver that has a little bearing at the end, so it's nice to actually go in. Feels good in hand. But this was solid white G10, and I dyed it. I did a little ombre look. I didn't get as deep purple as I wanted to, but whatever. Not a big deal. But yeah, it fits any 1/4-inch bits right there. And I have a T8 bit in there, so we can go ahead and test it. Yep, T8. Of course, you can swap the clip for lefties, which is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Here's a pivot, T8, axis on both sides. Chances are it's not captured, but it would be a nice surprise if it was captured. So there's a stop pin located right there. It's a very standard position, so you don't have garaged or internal stops or anything fancy like that. It's a very simple construction. Really, what Scent Cut does is bring absolute value at the lowest possible price point, really, which is cool. And what's wonderful is that they bring out designs at the lower price tier that could eventually inspire new designs in slightly better or more refined materials. All right, so we did some visual size comparisons, and yeah, that really did take me by surprise because this thing is it's on the larger side, but like I said before, in hand it feels a little bit more compact because you can choke up on it. But just look at how much knife I have sticking out of the back when I'm, you know, choked up. This is one hell of a knife, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and take the weight on this. It doesn't feel super heavy. You could see actually through the handles. I mean, through the actual scales, they're relatively opaque. But there is a butt ton of internal skeletonizing of those liners, steel liners, of course. They're slightly proud, very well rounded off, nothing sharp about it. Feels good in hand, definitely. So yeah, plenty of weight relief there. Let's go ahead and take the weight. 4.4, not bad, nothing to complain about there. Let me go get a piece of paper. I actually have some cardboard here because I was destroying some stuff that, you know, cleaning the garage, and I had some extra boxes and stuff that I no longer needed. So we're gonna go ahead and just check the factory edge. Yeah, that's excellent. You're gonna get the same thing on WE and Civivi knives, which is absolutely wonderful. They don't skip out on it just because it's a more affordable knife. I do definitely appreciate that. Yeah, that is really good. Very consistent. You see very minimal fuzz. I am thankful that they didn't over strop it or polish the edge, because I have experienced some products from the company that their edges were just finished a little too well. And what I mean by that is that they just feel like they were just over polished, over stropped, and they kind of kill that bite. So I use a little piece of cardboard. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. Good bit of bite into that. It is a very tall blade, so of course, you know, basics in edge geometry. Tall blade, thin stock, thin behind the edge, it's gonna cut well. So this is a recipe for success, definitely. I wouldn't expect anything else. I'm happy with this purchase. It's pretty nice. I am very tempted into getting the there's a different version of this that has micarta scales, black micarta scales, and I really like the quality of Civivi WE's black micarta, and the black scales actually die really well. This is from my Elementum, and I put it in some eggplant or purple eggplant color, and you could see how vibrant it actually is. And we're under synthetic lighting here. There's my little studio lights here. In the sun, I know it would be a little bit more vibrant, but as you can see, it's not black. It's purple, and I like it. It looks pretty cool. So I'm a little tempted into actually picking up another one of these and just doing some material swapping. Let's go ahead and check that. Oh, solid. I like how they do that for sure. Yeah. Yeah, this thing's gonna be buttery smooth, just dropping shut very easily. A little bit of assistance there. After a clean, after a little bit of, you know, use, yeah, this thing's gonna be incredible. I don't mind that they laser etch send cut there. You just kind of get used to it. And the blade steel stamp is right there, a little smudgy. Satin, I hate satin. It's absolutely disgusting, but can't complain at this price point. I believe they do offer a black wash version, and it kind of looks like this, I believe. Looks very similar to this, maybe not as reflective, a little bit duller, but who knows? Maybe I'll pick up another one of these because it is very inexpensive. And this is one hell of a knife for the price point. So I'm going to spend some time with this, using it, sharpening it, put an edge on this. I may lay it back a little bit, but I may even keep the edge, possibly. Pretty nice. So I'll spend some time with it in a couple weeks, come back to you guys and share my final thoughts, give this guy a review. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little unboxing. I know I definitely did. If you are subscribed, Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support and your patience. Of course, if you are not subscribed, consider subscribing because I have plenty more videos and content coming your guys' way. And with that being said, I'll be linking this down in the description. Go pick it up. It is available. And have a wonderful rest of your day.